And it is no surprise that the heat wave that we had 2 years ago is in the top 1% for how strong it became. But now, developing high pressure over the Northwest and Canada is so strong, it is going to be in that same area, the top 1% for this early in the year. It is basically a springtime version of that heat wave from 2 years ago. Not as hot, but certainly just as weird. Weather events like this, the 99th percentile ones, they're becoming a lot more common with climate change. The big difference, though, is instead of being parked right over us, well, we're going to be on the edge of this dome of hot weather this time, and that is lucky for us as well. That being said, however, a heat watch is up to the west of the Cascades. The whole Northwest is looking at least mid-80s, as Chris just showed you, but I tell you what, 90s aren't off the table, especially late next week, quite just yet. But the heat can impact us long after the weather has cooled off again. Much of North Idaho is in drought, and another 7 to 10 days of, well, pretty dry weather. Not going to help all that much. And the snowpack certainly not going to keep things moist up in the mountains as we get ready for summer. We have lost over 60% of it in the past 2 weeks. And this hot stretch may all but finish it off, except for those highest mountain peaks. And then there's what's going on with our neighbors up in Canada, who are going to be taking the brunt of this. That last round of warm weather we had a couple of weeks ago, well, it ended up leading to hundreds of wildfires in the Alberta province. Fires that are likely going to come alive again as that heat rolls in. Wind patterns actually could even send a little bit of smoky haze our way in just a couple of days. Perhaps a sign of things to come if rain continues to stay away from our northern neighbors like it has been pretty much all year so far.